Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm JC. Today is not going to be my normal typical type of video. Um, y'all may know some events in the world took place last week that were a bit devastating, particularly for women. Um, there were actually two things last week that happened that were just devastating, but I'm only going to talk about one of them. What happened on Friday, which was the Supreme Court passing down the ruling to overturn Roe versus Wade. Since that ruling came down, I wasn't able to focus on much Friday. I had things I wanted to get accomplished this past weekend, but I just wasn't in the right mental headspace because I just couldn't wrap my brain around the fact that I went to bed on Friday with less rights than what I woke up with, and the fact that certain rights that my daughter was born with, she no longer has going into her adulthood. The fact that my niece, who is a young woman in her early 20s now, lives in a state that has the most strictest laws of abortion now, against abortion, Oklahoma. And I'm thinking, what if she gets in a scenario that she doesn't want to be in? She'll just have no choice but to deal with it. So all of those thoughts were um, just consuming my brain, my mental space this weekend. As much as I tried to not let it do that, it did anyway. And I started thinking, I'm not the activist type. I don't know if you couldn't tell, but I am not the whole storm the streets activist type of person. It does not mean that I don't try in my own way to do things that affect change. But then I started thinking the only thing I have is my writing. So I started feeling a little helpless because I only have my writing. And who am I that my writing would affect anyone? Um, Nevertheless, I wrote a blog post that is up on my blog site now, so that it's linked in below so you can go check it out. That goes more in depth of my feelings and my outrage concerning this um, dangerous decision that the Supreme Court decided to make, that five, mostly men, decided to make on behalf of women's bodies. And then I started to think, well, my words can't be completely useless. I do have an audience on my blog site, a small audience, but an audience nonetheless. So something I say might touch someone's heart, or I don't know if it'll change anyone's minds who is set on whatever they believe. So I started wondering if there was anyone out there like me who felt helpless, who, you know, maybe they're not the activist type. Maybe they're not the I'm going to go march in the streets type of person. And maybe they're more of the quiet change agent, if you will, like myself. And, maybe all they have is their words or their art, as in, their drawing or their painting or whatever. So I started thinking, well, words mean something, clearly. And then I thought about all of the great speeches and poems and books that have changed our lives over the course of, this country's existence. And I actually did some research on some really great speeches. Um, Most notable is the Martin Luther King I Have a Dream speech. But there are some really great speeches and poems about women who have affected change through their words, through their art, if you will. And if they had felt helpless, if they had thought that their words would never change anyone else's lives, if they had never wrote their words, a lot of things would be different, possibly even worse today, if they had never used their words to um, deliver their message and let their words do the speaking for them. Um, so I have a list of some really great women. I also linked Martin Luther King's speech down below, but most of them, the rest are women, some really great women who have either written some really great poetry that has affected change or written some really great, powerful speeches in their time. And I'm just going to list them off for you because the first one that comes to mind is Sojourner Truth's Ain't I a Woman, that she gave at a women's convention in Ohio in 1851. Another one is Eleanor Roosevelt's speech on human rights that she delivered in 1948. Hillary Clinton's speech on women's rights or human rights that she delivered in 1995. Here's a name you may not know. Emmeline, because I didn't know. Emmeline Parkhurst, who delivered a Freedom or Die speech in 1913. She was a suffragette fighting for women's rights to vote. Gloria Steinem, who gave a women's speech, a women's liberation speech in 1971. Of course, I can't ever go without mentioning Maya Angelou. And I have three things from her. Not just the inaugural speech, the inaugural address that she gave at President Clinton's inauguration, but two poems that affected me greatly, just me personally, made me want to become the writer that I am today, is Still I Rise and Phenomenal Woman. And Amanda Gorman, who delivered an inaugural address at President Biden's inauguration just recently in 2021, and one of the youngest to affect change with her words. Greta Thunberg, who gave a climate change speech in 2019. She didn't let the fact that she was extremely young stop her from letting her words affect change. And I left a link to all of the speeches, either in text or some of them are on YouTube, that you can check out for yourselves. I also left a link to writer Sam Worker's video, because she did a really great video yesterday on this. She also talked about the decision they handed down on gun rights, which is the other thing that infuriated me. But that's not the one I wanted to address today. But I left a link to Sam's video in the description box as well. And I guess I just wanted to encourage those of you out there who may think I am not the activist type. I'm not storm the streets type of person. That's just not the way I want to affect change in the world, but I still want to affect change. I don't want to feel helpless, like I can't do anything. Your words can affect change. Your art, if drawing or painting is what you do, can affect change. Any type of writing, your words matter. There's a reason why they say your words matter, and I kind of forgot that a little bit, which is, I guess I'm giving myself a pep talk as well, because I rather like what I wrote for my blog post today. I don't know, how many people's lives it will change or how many people will even like what I wrote, but it helped me express what I was feeling. It helped me get some things out, some anger, and maybe it will touch someone else. But in order to know that, you have to put your words out there. So, if this affects you as much as it affects me, or has been affecting you since Friday as much as it has been affecting me, and you're feeling slightly helpless, Like, there's nothing you can do to help the situation or to do anything. I mean, yes, if you are the type of activist to go out and march the streets, do that. If you are that type of person, I applaud you. That is not me. I am more of the quiet activist, if you will, that likes to use her words to express how she feels, to hopefully engage conversation, debate, maybe inspire change, or to touch someone's heart. Um, that is the way I choose to try to be helpful in my own way, my own little corner of the universe. And I wanted to encourage you guys to find your way to affect change from your corner of the universe, and that no way is too small. Um, so don't think that because it might not be a grand gesture, that it's something that won't mean anything. Do it anyway, because you never know who's going to see it. You never know who's going to be touched by it. You never know who's going to be changed by something you wrote or drew or painted or, or sung, or a piece of music that you write. So change the world however you must, but don't be afraid to change the world, even if it's in a small way. Every little bit helps. So that's going to be it for this video. If you like what you see and you want to see more videos from me, make sure that you hit the like and subscribe button. I post videos on Mondays and Thursdays. I live stream on Wednesdays from 6 to 8 Eastern Standard Time. Again, those links will be in the description box below to Sam's video and to the wonderful, great speeches and poems that have affected many lives over the course of the history of this country. So check those out. And as usual, if you would like to support me in any of my creative endeavors, my blog site, my online magazine, my online store, or my Ko-fi page, all of those links can be found in the description box below. And until next time, have a blessed day. Bye.